Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of Warships. It's one of my replays and I'm in the Shimakaze, a tier 10 Japanese destroyer. I'm on Warrior's path. Well, it's a tier 10 battle, 3-point domination. There is a set with Hydro that I have to be aware of, a Seattle with Radar, and well, there is a submarine. Now, as soon as I enter this camp, I'm going to turn around here, and I basically want to position myself so that I can flee through this gap here. Now, there is a Halland, so something with very fast reloading torpedoes. The Halland could have technically caught me here off guard because I'm not well angled right now. But I think I need to position myself in a way that I can flee if the set is around here and pushes me with Hydro. A set can be very dangerous here if you don't have backup and you're in the Shimakaze. But it turns out what I have found is the enemy Shima. So I'm gonna try to torp it. It's gonna try to torp me. And we'll see what happens. Now I have plenty of time here to properly position my ship so that I can dodge torps as easily as possible, and I can use my torpedoes like sort of as a guideline. Because it's a Shimakaze, it's probably using the same torpedoes as I do. So with where the position of my torpedoes relatively to that smoke, I can expect where they show up. Here they are. And now I'm just sitting still here, waiting. Yeah, I need to accelerate a little bit. Honestly, I'm wondering if he isn't even using like the 20s. Those torpedoes have been spotted from awfully far ahead and they seem sort of slowish. But who knows. Now I got one torp into the enemy Shima, which is nice. And that will allow me to potentially hunt it down. Especially with my RPF. Now my RPF is pointing in a different direction right now. I have to be a little bit careful. Now currently I still have some islands here as cover. I don't know where the Seattle is yet. Okay, my RPF is switching. That's probably the Shimmer, right? But I'm not sure what else I've been tracking. For all I know, there is a Seattle. Now I can still at this point relatively simply accelerate and hug this island if needed. Also, I'll keep an eye out on my... Oh, there is the Seattle. Okay, now we are safe there. I'll keep an eye out on my torp reload, right? I'm facing a Shimakaze, so its torps will have about the same reload. Now, obviously, depending on exact captain skills he uses and which torpedoes he uses. But it gives me a bit of an indication when I have to expect the next salvo in case it's torpedoing me again. I'm RPF'd, so the enemy Shima is probably running RPF too. I mean, it could be RPF from somebody else, you know. But I'll operate under the assumption that the enemy Shima is gonna try to torpedo me here. Now, not entirely sure if I'm still tracking it or if something is pushing me from the other side, but so far, you know, we don't have any of the other caps. We don't have C, we don't have A. A seems to be contested, so I presume the destroyers are elsewhere. It's possible that there is a submarine about, but as long as the Seattle isn't here, I'm not too concerned. Or the set, right? Because against any other threat, I can disappear into a smoke screen and then use that to disengage. I'm trying to torpedo the Bismarck that's slowing down, and I found the Shimakaze. Now this... and oh, I didn't give enough lead there, it looks like. Also, this Shimakaze seems to be in very rough waters. It's also going to sink. There we go. Meanwhile, my team has dealt with the Bismarck. That means my torpedoes aren't gonna hit anything, which is a shame. But, you know, as long as the Bismarck's dealt with, who cares? Now the question is, what am I gonna do here? It looks like we have a massive fleet at A. It also looks like they're going to take the camp. We finally know where the set is. We also seem to know where the Halland is. I need to go towards C and help over there. But there is a Seattle that I don't want to get too close to. So I can go through like this sort of channel there in front of me, in the hopes that I can get some torps towards the left. And then I'll have to go complete south and, you know, enter the sea cap from a safe route. The problem with my current movements are, well, the Irian, right? We saw the Irian come this way, and the Irian has Hydro. If the Irian pushes me, I'll be in serious trouble because I can't escape with the island towards my right. If I run into the North Carolina like this, that's fine. I can just smoke up, and I can use the smoke, then disengage between those two islands, be perfectly safe. Meanwhile, torp the North Cal a little bit. So I'm already detected, so I'm now soon gonna deploy a smoke, and then I'm gonna gently be here in my smoke and torp that North Cal a little bit. I have well, 2 torp launchers ready, the 3rd almost ready. Now this is where disaster strikes because the Irian is around here. So this is what I was afraid of. It's even more problematic because of that island here, and I'm fucking this up. Basically, I'm fucking this up. Now I'm getting pushed by the Irian, and the smoke is protecting me from the North Cal, but not by the Irian. Also, as we established, the Irian has Hydro. But the good news is, I'm sinking the Irian. It took a drop despite the Hydro, and that was lucky for me. So, yeah, I could have lighted the smoke screen better. I could have properly disengaged between those 2 islands instead of beaching myself. There is a number of ways I could have done this better. So I fucked up, but I still came out on top. I probably should have been sunk here, let's be honest. I could have done this so much better. But, you know, it's all's well that ends well. Is that how the saying goes? Anyway. Meanwhile, our team has 2 caps, we have more ships. You know, when you look at this, it looks like we are easily winning this and it should be smooth sailing from here on. Yeah, this is still World of Warships though. So our left flank here has an Amagi pushing after a set and an Amagi. And I'm not sure why that Amagi is hugging the zone wall so tightly. Like this limits vastly how the Amagi can maneuver, not to mention that there is no point in being in a 1-line. But it means that it will have a harder time dodging set torps because it can't turn towards the left really. And the zone wall will not be very helpful there. Our Massachusetts is desperately trying to escape from a submarine. Let's hope that it will come out on top there. And I guess our sub and Shima are hunting that Amagi. The thing is, if you have a battleship sailing away, you're not gonna be very successful with torpedoing it, right, if you're in a Shima, because you need to get very close for the torps to even reach. Meanwhile, the Seattle here is coming back in. The friendly Halland and myself, we're going in there. There is an enemy Halland. I'm on very low health, right? I have to be extremely careful to not get spotted. Right now, the Halland is far enough away. My smoke's almost ready, and the Seattle is also far enough away. I can't really be torping the Montana here, but it looks like the Seattle is pushing in, right? So if I torp this way, I could hit the Seattle. I could potentially hit the Halland. So I just torp like this gap here and hope for the best. I could... No, the Montana is sailing away. So, no chance of torping this. I don't know what the Amagi is doing. Could potentially try to get torps into this direction and hope for the Amagi to appear. But I think I'm fine with just saturating this channel here with torps and see if somebody wants them. Meanwhile, we've lost the Amagi there in the 1-line. Unsurprising, pushing after that set like this was never gonna end well. And our team is still herding this Amagi into the A-line. I mean, I can understand that the other enemies aren't that close, so they don't have anything better to do in a way. I mean, the Shima could try spotting that set, I presume. You just have to be careful that you aren't getting hydroed in the process. But overall, still looking pretty good here for us. That Seattle is unfortunately dodging some torpedoes, and I wouldn't be surprised if it has hydro running currently. So there is that. Now it's almost in radar range, right? So I have to stay away. Meanwhile, our Halland is getting a little bit too aggressive here. I presume that Halland might be in radar range. So it's potentially going to be shotted by that Seattle. There is also the enemy Halland that's pushing in. And yeah, you see all of the shells going towards that Halland. That's never gonna end well. Now the Amagi also seems to be coming around here. I'm trying to get some torps off against. Like the Seattle is, well, the Seattle and the Halland are my biggest threats right now. I have to worry about. Our Halland is desperately trying to flee. But it's just under too much pressure here. So speaking of the Damagi is on very low health. I presume it might be... I don't know, it could push just through this cap, or it could go through the channel. Actually, going through the channel makes more sense, because that's where our ships are to engage. Not sure if my troops will get there in time, but we will give it a go. And you see, suddenly this battle has turned completely around, right? For, well, a few minutes ago, this looked pretty good. And now, it's looking rather desperate. Now, our team on the left side has finally cornered the Amagi, but we've lost the Atago in the process. There is Zed still on the loose. And C has been entirely taken over by the enemy. Now I have I have two issues here. One is the Seattle. The Seattle is still a radar threat that I need to stay away of. But the other is the Holland. I'm ready located, presumably by said Holland. If I were this Holland, I'd totally hunt myself down here. I mean, let's be honest. The best thing the Holland can do is go after me right now, in a way. Well, it doesn't want to go into B as long as there's Seattle in there, I presume. What I'm hoping is that I can maybe top the Seattle when it's coming here. And if not, then maybe I can, once the Seattle pushes out of here, I can turn around and retake this camp. Points are going to be our biggest asset here. Of course, I'm going to try to sink some ships. But we might be able to make this work with points. Now, RPF is definitely pointing towards the Talent. I can't win a gunfight with it. I outspot it. But not by that much. If I sit still and it comes at me full speed, then I won't have much time to react. I can always just deploy smokescreen behind me. I can't win a gunfight against this Holland, especially with the Seattle backer. Well, even without the Seattle backer, but I think this Holland is way too healthy. So maybe my RPF corps can find it. Otherwise, oh. Turns out my RPF corps did find it. Who knew? So that changes everything, right? With the Holland coming this way, I was forced to back off, right? There was no way of me to turning this ship around, because if I ran nose first into Holland, I would have been dead. My only option was to stay away from the Holland, and if it actually finds me, to like run like hell. So that's good news. I can now turn around, maybe torpedo the Seattle as it pushes in, and then take the camp behind. Now this is also where we are really going to speed this thing up, and honestly, I even take control of the camera to ensure that the mouse movement doesn't give you vertigo. But basically, this is the time when you want to play it careful. We have 700 points, they have about 400, right? And it's only 5 minutes left. And I can now just go there and cap C. Or so you'd think. But we just spotted the Seattle. The Seattle was going towards C, so maybe I'll change my mind and don't do that. I'm actually almost a little bit too close here, but RPF didn't go towards C, so it turned away, so I knew the Seattle isn't going to actually go there. So yeah, now we've found the Seattle again, and we've lost our other Shimakaze there. That's a shame. I think it tried to charge the Seattle, which was probably not the smartest choice there. Now, this is where I just run away. Now, this is where also our other Shimakaze starts insulting me, tells me that I've been blacklisted, and it also reported me. Yeah, I reported it back just for good measure. The thing is, look at where the enemies are, look at our points, and look at the time. I'm going for the safe win, right? I'm just gonna cap here, and I'm just gonna win this battle. And meanwhile, the Shima can insult me all it wants. I'm fine with just winning, you know. So, here we are with the results, and you know, I really like this replay because I definitely screwed up early on and it cost me most of my hit points, but I got out of it alive, and then I was still able to contribute and ultimately carry us to victory just by playing it careful and making sure that I didn't run into a raider or something like that. Now, of course, our friendly Shimakaze would have rather me throw the game and charge a raider ship when all we had to do was survive, but hey, that's well the Warships for you. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.